Hello there and welcome to Market Insights. I apologize for that technical glitch. I am your host, Lavina Emma. So on today's show, we are discussing the National Automotive Industry Development Plan, NAIDP. There's a bill and we're discussing its potential impact on Nigeria's economy. Now, growing up, I remember the days when our country was a hub for vehicle assembly and manufacturing. I mean, we had, this is as far back as the 1950s. We had the production of passenger cars and commercial trucks. For example, the Bedford TJ trucks, which was made by the United Africa Company subsidiary. We also had other car manufacturing companies like the Federated Motors Industries and also SCOA, that's SCOA production, which also produced Peugeot cars and also Peugeot pickup trucks. So we had these car manufacturing industries back then. But just what happened? I mean, we lost this momentum. Our industry suffered and the impact was felt by all Nigerians. Now, we know the importance of a thriving automotive industry. It creates jobs, it boosts our economy, it reduces our dependence on imported vehicles. So the NAIDP bill aims to achieve just that by providing a roadmap for the industry's growth. In addition, auto assemblers and stakeholders in our automotive industry have called on the federal government to incorporate a provision compelling ministries, departments, and agencies to buy made-in-Nigeria vehicles to boost our national auto industry development plan. Now, in the same vein, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been urged to consent to the NAIDP bill and also known as the auto policy. This is to hasten the sector's development. I mean, we do want our automotive industry to be well developed. But the thing is, this bill has been delayed for over a decade. I mean, 10 years, that's quite a long time. But when it is approved, it is expected to provide the legal framework for investment in our automobile sector and encourage original equipment manufacturers, that's the OEMs, to set up assembly plants in Nigeria. Now, we need more of these assembly plants in Nigeria. Yes, currently, we have Innocent Motors in Anambra State, but we need more vehicle assembly plants in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria's automotive industry currently is dominated by car imports. This means fewer jobs for Nigerians and less, let me just say, it's dominated by our imported vehicles. So this means when we import all these vehicles, we don't have too many vehicle manufacturing plants in Nigeria, and this will lead to less money in circulation in our economy because we have to keep paying for these imported vehicles. Apart from this, the benefits of this bill, the NAIDP bill, is that it aims to address these challenges by incentivizing local production. Now, this is not just about assembling cars. It's about building an ecosystem that supports manufacturing, innovation, and skills development. In addition, I see a chance for us to reclaim our position as leaders in our automotive industry. And this will also help to create more jobs in our economy, drive innovation. We have so many creative people in this country, and also grow our economy. So the purpose of the NAIDP bill is about creating an automotive industry that can compete globally and make us a proud nation. Now, my guest who is joining us virtually this morning is Ibrahim Ismailaitope. He is a member of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, the Akaba unit in Okene, Kogi State. He's also a lecturer at the Department of Mathematical Sciences in Prince Abubakar Audu University in Kogi State. So he has joined us virtually. So welcome to Market Insights.
Thank you. You are welcome. Good morning, and thank you for having interest in the economy of the country. The National Automotive Industry Development Plan have series of economic advantage for the country. The number one advantage it has, the bill is focused at enhancing the automotive industry. As you said earlier, we remember those days where Nigeria we manufacture our own vehicles from the raw materials from the country. tires, and every other thing is being manufactured in the country. And it brings a lot of goodies to the country, especially in our foreign reserves. If Nigeria automotive industry is working very well in the country, then we don't depend on used imported vehicles. Let me highlight some of the advantages of this bill, and I will also thank President Ahmed Bola Tinubu for taking care of the bill. He really wants something good for the country, and he wants to develop and change the economy of this country. The number one area where it enhanced the growth of the Nigerian economy is that the bill focuses at incentive. There's incentive for local manufacturers in the sense of there will be tax free, and there will also be tax
Okay,
breaks, and there will be also
yes, Mr. Ibrahim. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you clearly now.
Okay, I'm glad you can hear me now. So yes, during my introduction, I talked about the NAIDP bill and what we stand to gain once this bill is passed. So, okay, yes, before, I would just like to hear, as a member of the NURTW now, so how will this bill impact Nigeria's automotive industry? So let me hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, the bill, if I have to go straight to, as a member of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Akaba Park unit in Okene branch of Kogi State, number one, it will reduce costs because if there's increase in local production, it can lead to affordable vehicles and reliable ones, which in totality reduce the cost of transportation in general. Then the second advantage to the National Union of Road Transport Workers is that it improves quality and variety. That is, with regulatory framework in place, the quality of locally manufactured vehicles is expected to improve, providing consumers with more reliable and varied options. Another advantage is that there is economic efficiency. A robust automotive industry can lead to better transportation infrastructure and services, enhancing overall economic efficiency. Well, it also improves on the support for small and medium enterprises. That is, spare parts manufacturing, spare parts selling, and other related services. It will really help in the transportation business. But if you want me to talk about how it creates more economic growth, then that is when we can go into what we call incentive for local manufacturing, research and development, human capital development, regulatory framework, and so on and so forth.
So, yes, I understand what you are saying. So what are the potential benefits for our economy, hopefully, once this bill is passed?
The potential, repeat yourself, please.
Benefits for our economy, for Nigeria's economy, once the NAIDP bill is passed.
Okay, once the NAIDP, that is the National Automotive Industry Development Plan bill, if it is passed, the bill focuses on incentive for local manufacturing. That is, it will reduce tax for importation of the goods or the raw materials, which those that have the local plants for manufacturing. And this will reduce the cost of manufacturing, and it will make the industry a competitive one. The second one is there will be investment in infrastructure, because the bill also focuses on investment on infrastructure. There is also what we call human capital development, because the bill also focuses on human training. Another one is that it will create more jobs for the country, for the citizens of the country. And the country will not depend on foreign exchange much, because the automotive industry will bring about some of the incentives that is the industry that will be producing the tires, the rubber, and all other related industries will come into the country, and more jobs will be created. Then you see that our naira will become, the value of the naira will become high, and the economy will boom.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Ibrahim. Now, okay. So now this bill. Now, how will the bill address the challenges facing the automotive industry, such as infrastructure gaps? In addition, something which is very important: competition from imported vehicles. So, how will this bill address these challenges?
You know, most of the imported vehicles to this country, implication of smuggling, most of them are smuggled into the country. Smuggling and uncontrolled importation of used vehicles. Number one, there will be market distortion, because the Nigerian citizens will focus mainly on the used vehicles being imported into the country. And these used vehicles are perceived to be better, which are not, because the automotive industry, they manufacture new vehicles for us to use, and if this imported vehicle is still allowed into the country, then it will distort the marketing of the automotive industry. Then another one is that the country, there will be revenue loss for the country. Since if we keep importing used vehicle from outside the country without concentrating on our local industry, then we'll be losing. The country will be losing. And if we focus majorly on the automotive industry, then the foreigners, other foreign countries will be focusing on in Nigeria. In fact, they will also depend on Nigeria, other African countries, and even European countries will focus in Nigeria for their automotive.
Okay, yes, Mr. Ibrahim. Now, okay, in our country right now, I mentioned also that ministries, government agencies, and other government parastatals, it's important that they also patronize made in Nigerian vehicles. So now with this bill, which has not yet been approved, but hopefully when it is approved now, we actually hope to see a situation where the government officials will be using made in Nigeria vehicles for everything, for all they are doing, so that when the citizens see the government using these made in Nigeria vehicles, they'll be motivated to also purchase these vehicles too. Now, that being said, now, how can we ensure that within our country now, we have the facilities, we have all the right kind of infrastructure to ensure that a local vehicle manufacturing plant can operate successfully in Nigeria?
We know the bill emphasizes the importance of automotive technologies, improving existing. The bill emphasizes the importance of research and development in developing new innovative technologies and improving existing ones. And it also proposes funding for research and development initiatives to foster innovation in the industry. If there's innovation in the industry, I remember those days where we have Peugeot being assembled in Nigeria. The government officials in Nigeria then uses Peugeot as official car. They said Peugeot assembly in Nigeria for Nigeria. So if the automotive industry is taken care of as stated in the bill, I'm sure we will see the used imported vehicles presently as counterfeit vehicles, as we will have new vehicles. You know, these new imported vehicles, they are vehicles in which most of the parts have worn out before sold into the country. So with the new innovative automotive industry, which President Ahmed Tinubu is trying to put in place, I'm quite sure that the government will patronize the automotive industry, and the citizens of the country will also want to patronize the automotive industry. But the government has to work on the implication of smuggling and uncontrolled importation of used vehicles first. Because if the automotive industry is working with new cars and the parts readily available in the country, I see no reason why one will want to purchase used cars, which the parts are not readily available in the country.
Okay. So yes, that's a very big challenge, the issue of imported vehicles, and also when we want to buy the spare parts, yes, the parts not being readily available now. So now this new bill, hopefully it was the stakeholders in our automotive industry that are trying to come together to ensure that the National Assembly will read through the bill and also implement it, and the president will approve it now. So now, how will this bill's implementation affect consumers, including pricing of made in Nigeria vehicles and the quality and availability of these vehicles? So how would the bill's implementation affect all of this?
As I said earlier, the National Automotive Industry Development Plan Bill focuses on several key areas to enhance the growth of the Nigerian automotive industry. Number one, we said there is incentive for local manufacturing. That is, the bill proposes fiscal incentives, including tax breaks and duty exemptions for manufacturers who establishes local assembly plants. This is aimed at reducing the cost of production and making locally manufactured vehicles more competitive. The second one is in the bill, there will be investment in infrastructure. And this investment includes plans for investing in the necessary infrastructure, such as power supply, transportation network, and industrial park, automotive manufacturing. The third one that is also in the bill, if actually put into place, is research and development. The bill emphasizes the importance of research and development in developing new automotive technology and improving existing ones. It proposes funding for research and development initiatives to foster innovative in the industry, which will really assist the automotive industry to work well for the country. And the bill also proposes human capital development, that is, training and capacity building programs to develop a skilled workforce that can support the industry's growth. There is another regulatory framework still in the bill, that is to ensure quality control, safety standards, and environmental compliance. You remember when I said, then we said, Peugeot made in Nigeria for Nigeria. Then
Are you still there, Mr. Ibrahim? Okay, can you hear me, Mr. Ibrahim?
I can hear you clearly.
Now, this bill, I'm quite sure there are some key performance indicators. So what are the KPIs that will be used to assess its success?
The key, after what we can use, what will be used to assess the success of the bill is if all the proposed aspects by the government in the bill are being worked upon, then the automotive industry will, more investors will want to come in to invest or to get a plant for automotive industry in the country. And as soon as the bill is passed, if the government release funds for incentive investment in infrastructure, research and development, human capital development, regulatory framework, and so on, then we'll be quite sure that the automotive industry will work.
We talked about the fact that we have a lot of imported vehicles in Nigeria, and that's what a lot of Nigerians are buying now, these used imported vehicles now. So now, how will the NAIDP bill address the issue of dumping and unfair competition from foreign manufacturers? First of all, let's start with that. So how will the NAIDP bill address the issue of dumping and unfair competition from foreign vehicle manufacturers?
The NAITP bill has nothing much to do with that. All we need to work on is to look vividly at the implications of smuggling and uncontrolled importation of these vehicles. Because right now we all know that new vehicles are not being imported into the country. And if the used vehicles are not properly checked, it will contribute to environmental hazard and increase the number of accidents we have in the country. Then the government will have to focus much on the incoming vehicles. The customs, Nigerian customs, the Nigerian Immigration Service will have to block all the loopholes where cars are being smuggled into the country, and any used car that is to be imported into the country, the duty on the car should be so exorbitant that one would think, instead of going for a used car with such huge sum of money, then the person will better go for a new car from the automotive industry in Nigeria, which is even better compared to the used car. Because presently, the Nigerian citizens and the government perceived the used vehicle as a better option, not knowing that some of the parts are being worn out. The best point of view is for the government to look at the importation from the customs and the immigration of any vehicles into the country. That's all.
Okay, yes, we do have foreign used cars coming into Nigeria. We actually have them imported into Nigeria from other countries. It could be even from the small African neighbors that are surrounding our country. So apart from that, we also have cars coming from across the ocean, also from the European continent, from North America, even from South America. So we have these used foreign vehicles coming into Nigeria. It's not something new. It's been on for quite a long time right now in the country. So, okay, that being said now, I just want to know now your thoughts on this. So how will our local industries, and yes, you have also addressed that issue now, how will local industries be protected from the fact that we have these used cars in the country right now? And you said if customs increases the customs duties, they'll be more inclined to patronize our locally made vehicles now. Now, how would this bill's implementation be funded, seeing that it came from stakeholders and in the automotive industry?
Since the provision of the bill has to work on the economy of the country, and the president of Nigeria is willing to improve the economy of the country, funding the bill will surely come from the government. It will come from the federal government of this country, because if the bill is being funded, like what we said the investment, infrastructure, research and development, human development, and so on. If we allow the automotive industry itself to work on all this, it will cripple the industry. The government will have to assist in doing all this, funding it, and until the automotive industry becomes a solid and standard one before they can stand on their own. And on the long run, the government can actually retrieve the funds back from the tax being invaded on the industry. Because if the government has to look at the tax on this industry presently, it will cripple the industry and our economic problem will continue to go higher.
But we're looking at how is it possible for this bill to be funded from taxpayers, or from the national budget?
It's going to be from the national budget, but the president of the country is articulate enough to see how reasonable percentage of this bill will come from taxpayers. Like in the past, we talked about TED fund. TED fund was actually suggested by Academic Staff Union of Universities, where if you buy a liter of petrol in the country, certain amount of money from that 1 liter is going straight to that TED fund. The TED fund has become a very big one now that it sponsors people for master's degree, PhD, even within and outside the country. So the president of the country, I know him, Excellency Senator Ahmed Tinubu, knows how to go about it in order to get reasonable percentage from the tax.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Ibrahim. Okay, let me check. Is Dr. Dayo Israel here with us now? I think it was a network issue. Now, this bill, as you know, in Nigeria, I mentioned that we have a lot of skilled and creative people in our country. But now, how will this creating a local vehicle manufacturing plants, how will this address the skills gap in our economy in terms of labor shortages in the vehicle manufacturing industry, first of all? And then the second one, what investments will be made in education and training to fill this gap?
In the past, we have students that graduate from mechanical engineering department, electrical engineering department, and all that. Most of them, they work in the bank. If this National Automotive Industry Development Plan bill is put into place, then it is time for them to come out and show their method as engineers. So, and the issue of which other question did you ask? Please just remind me of that. Hello.
Address this education and training to fill this gap, education and training to get in the right kind of people into a local vehicle manufacturing plant.
We said the bill also cares for human capital development. That is, there will be training and capacity building programs to develop a skilled workforce that can support the industry's growth. And this human capital development will focus on employing the right people. At times, in manufacturing process, there are some manufacturing process that need articulate people, not only those that study, that have the qualification in that area in the academic section, but it may also involve some people that doesn't have the knowledge in the academic area, but they can think very well beyond the scope of what is presently in state. The human and capital development will take care of that in the bill. they will employ, they will be training, they will also import experts from outside the country for the training. And this will definitely boost the automotive industry.
But do you believe we have the experts here in Nigeria to fill the skill gap in Nigeria? We have the skills, we have talented people in this country. So do you believe we have the required people, the required manpower and labor that can fill this gap?
We have the required manpower and labor in this country that can fill this gap. The problem we are having here in this country is that we value foreigners. We value people from foreign countries more than ourselves. Like for me, as a university lecturer, I believe in myself and I believe in my students. What I believe I can do statistically as a statistics lecturer, I believe my students that graduate with at least from second class or and above to do same, if not better. Because the knowledge impact on them is not only from me, from co-lecturers. And some of these students do research on their own, even better than some of us. So we have the knowledge in this country. But at the initial stage, we can look for foreign experts that has been in the automotive industry for a very long time. Then with time, we'll stand on our own and we wouldn't need foreign experts to help us in developing the automotive industry.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Ibrahim. Now, before we round up the program, now let's talk about people who own vehicles in the transportation sector. Now this bill, it's all about promoting our local vehicle manufacturing industry to ensure that Nigerians make Nigerian cars and Nigerians buy made in Nigerian cars, and we have more vehicle manufacturing plants in the country. Now, how will the NAIDP bill benefit transportation business when it is signed into law in the country?
Business in the country. I think I have talked about this earlier. It reduces costs. That is, increased local production can lead to more affordable vehicles. And if there is more affordable vehicles for those that do transportation business like myself, then there will be overall reduction in the cost of transportation. The second one is that there will be improved quality and variety. If the automotive industry is working very well and is providing commercial vehicles for us within the country.
So I want to thank my guest, Mr. Ibrahim Ismailaitope, for joining us this morning on Market Insights as we discuss how the NAIDP bill, once it is approved, it will impact our economy very well and also promotes the growth of more local vehicle manufacturing plants. So many thanks for joining us this morning on Market Insights, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thanks so much for including me on the Market Insights this morning. I am glad you include me in the Market Insights this morning. Thank you so much.
Okay. So now let's look at the money rates this morning, how the foreign exchange rates, how the dollars, the pound sterling and the euro are faring against the naira. So we're looking at the CBN rates and the parallel market rates. So this morning, for the CBN rate, it's currently selling at 1,530 naira to $1. At the parallel market rate, is selling for 1,604 naira to $1. For the pound sterling, the CBN rate is 2,017 naira to 1 pound sterling. The parallel market rate 2,098 naira to 1 pound sterling. For the euro, it is 1,702 naira to 1 euro. At the parallel market rate, it's 1,753 naira to 1 euro. So those are our money market figures this morning. As usual, the parallel market rates are higher than the CBN rates. So many thanks for watching the program this morning as we discussed Nigeria's automotive industry and how this bill, the National Auto Industry Development Plan, how this bill, once it is approved, will positively impact our vehicle manufacturing industry and also our economy on a larger scale. And hopefully, we can be looking at Nigeria as a global competitor when it comes to vehicle manufacturing. Many thanks for watching the program. Please don't forget to put your comments on our social media platforms and also share your likes for our programs. Many thanks for watching the program. I am your host, Lavina Emma. Do stay tuned to the next program on SOUQ News Television.